Welcome to the Cohn Zone. I'm Grant Cohn. He's Lowell Cohn. Training camp ended a few days ago for the 49ers. Their first game is Sunday, September 13th. Dad, what's on your mind?
Well, it's a little early to talk about the first game. It's at home against Arizona, and it's essentially a week and a half away. And next week, I'm sure you're going to get into a lot of the X's and O's, nuts and bolts, which you are much better at than I am. But I do have thoughts about this game. So I'm going to say a cliche, and then I'm going to probably backtrack a little bit. I believe this first game at home against Arizona is a must-win game. Now, probably people who are watching this, their brains are flying out their ears. How can Lowell say it's a must-win game? Even if they lose, they still have 15 more games. If there are, it's a full season, and they could be 15-1. Absolutely. So let me not say a must-win game, but if they were to lose, it would be a hell of a bad loss. And you don't want to start a season that way. And I'll give a few reasons, Grant, Iggy, and then please, you chime in. One is they're a better team. I'll give three reasons. They're a better team, especially defensively. They're at home. And they have 2 weeks to prepare. It's like a Super Bowl. They have 2 weeks to prepare. They have a brilliant coaching staff. They certainly have, I think they have better coaches than Arizona. So if you lose a game when you have all those advantages, it sends shudders and shockwaves through an organization. I know football teams. They only play 16 games. Every game is the Super Bowl. Every game is momentous. Your universe rocks if you lose that first game. And it makes the players, even if they don't admit it, doubt themselves a little and doubt their coaches. Can they overcome it? Of course they can. It's not the way you want to start. What do you think?
Okay, so it's not a must-win game. As you said, they could lose it and then go 15-1.
Right,
But
so must win. I was my headline, but I came back from it.
I know I would call it like a better win, game. You better win this game, which is like one step down because I loved all your reasons, but I would add a fourth reason. It's a divisional opponent, and not just any divisional opponent. It's not the Rams, not the Seahawks. Both teams the Niners know very well and believe that they're better than those teams. It's the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are the big mystery in the NFC because Kyler Murray, you saw him last year. He's great. He's going to be entering his second season. He's going to be better than last year. They added a bunch of players, including this phenomenal wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. And the Cardinals played the Niners tough twice last year. Those games went down to the wire both times in San Francisco and in Arizona. And now the Cardinals are much better. If the Niners lose week one to the Cardinals, it could really hurt their confidence. Because all of a sudden they'll think, geez, maybe the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC West. No one really knows what to expect. And if the Cardinals can come in week one and beat the Niners, then they'll be all of a sudden the team to beat in the NFC. That's how things change that quickly in the NFL.
In the NFC West.
In the NFC West, yes. Sure.
Yeah. Now,
what a statement it would be for the Cardinals to win that game.
What a statement game, yes. So I want to add one thing. I think the Niners will win that game. I want the viewers to, I don't know where you stand on it. We haven't talked about it. I actually think the Niners would win, but I like the way you conceptualize it better than I did. It's you better win this game.
Right. If they lose, it could signal about a shift in the balance of power in the NFC West. Because I think a lot of teams expect that by next season, the Cardinals will be serious contenders. If they win week one, then it signals that they're contenders right now. And that's a scary thought for the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams.
Okay, so that's the way we look at the game a week and a half in advance of the game. Yes.
You said you think the Niners are going to win that game. Real quick, I think it's impossible to predict it right now because the Niners have about 10 injured players that they haven't revealed the nature of the injury. Next Wednesday, they're going to put out their first injury report, and we'll find out if Nick Bosa is seriously injured or not. George Kittle, if he's seriously injured or not. If they don't have Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, they could lose. But if they have all those guys and Fred Warner, then they should win. So I think by next Wednesday, we should have a better understanding. But right now, I think the Niners are kind of nervous because they have no idea who's really hurt on the Cardinals and vice versa.
Okay, I want to get this clear on the injury report. We're recording on Tuesday.
Sure.
September 1st.
Yes.
I think it's September 1st.
Yes.
So you don't mean tomorrow. You mean a week from tomorrow.
I'm fairly certain it's a week from tomorrow. You have to have an injury report before your first usually preseason game, but there's no preseason this year. So I think it's next Wednesday.
Okay. And in training camp, they don't have to do that.
No, they can be real vague and have been. You've heard it with George Kittle. Is he hurt? No. Well, he's missed multiple days. Is Nick Bosa hurt? No. Actually, he had an MRI. So I understand. I mean, the Cardinals are doing the same thing. You want to be on an even playing field. That's what's going on.
Final question, Iggy, and you are better at this than I am. When they do the injury reports for real a week from tomorrow, are they legit? They pretty much have to be, right?
You get in a lot of trouble if you lie on those injury reports. If you don't put something on there, you can lose draft picks. It's serious.
So you can pretty much depend on those. And I understand what you're saying. What I'm doing is, in the best of worlds, I say the Niners win. And you're saying, wait a minute, Dad, we need to know what the world really is.
Yeah, and I think this season more than ever, it's going to have to look week by week and see what team has lost players to COVID-19. I mean, it's going to be a whole different team week to week in this season. So we'll have to see.